You know, a really helpful way of understanding little t trauma, not like your big car accidents, wars, that whole kind of business, but little t trauma is that your nervous system is dealing with too much too fast. So I love that you say slow it down. Some of the things I like teaching clients too, and this is something that's really personalized to them because everyone has a different way of approaching their body, and we need to honor that first. But something I like teaching them is, hey, when we talk about things like grounding, that word's not accidental. It's your contact with the ground. So if you want to make space to feel a little bit more, you can literally grip the ground a little bit with your feet. You can really become aware of how your chair is supporting you. And as you're doing that, if there's space in your nervous system for it, allow yourself to breathe a little bit deeper. And I want to say at this point, this is opening up your ability to feel a bit of fear, which is a fearful thing. So I want to also offer, it's okay not to feel your fear for a while as well. It's okay to check out. It's okay to dissociate. In fact, if we always felt all our fear all the time, we'd be a mess.
Yeah.
Right? So it's okay to check in with yourself, and it's okay to be checked out for a while too, and to move between the two.
Yeah.
But here's how we can get into ourselves a bit. I think a lot of us already know how to get out of ourselves.
I think too, it's learning to have space to have love and empathy towards the emotion of fear. When you're talking, Tony, what's going through my mind is thinking of the movie Inside Out.
Yes.
This sort of fear, fear anxious guy. It's like, like we create this narrative where we see fear as this unlikable part of who we are. And yet we're obsessed with horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
Because the horror movies give us some synapses up here, right? There's something that goes on, but then the emotion, my experience of fear, my fear of dying, my fear of losing somebody, my fear of being hurt, all of these natural fears, we can laundry list.
Fear of shame, disconnection.
Fear of disconnection, fear of too much connection, fear of the unknown, fear of my daughter being in a classroom by herself that I have never seen.
Right.
Or fear of your baby, like what do they eat?
Right.
These are normal. Exactly. Yeah, normal fears. And so it's hard. It's like, if I can't touch my fear, how do I say to myself, of course you're afraid of your daughter being in a classroom you've never seen. Like, that's healthy. And then when I'm slow and I'm still and I can notice that fearful thought, then I can either, like for me, noticing that one is enough.
Yeah.
To say like, of course. But if there's a deeper one, like the fear of connection or fear of disconnection, I get slow, I notice it, and then I can sort of start to evaluate the roots of it. Do I read? Do I watch some vlogs? Do I go see a therapist? Do I bring it up with a trusted person?
Exactly, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of the real health that our nervous system experiences is in connection. And if we can hold our fear in connection, then we can share it and we don't need to be as afraid.
Right?
This is the good side of some of the tribalism that's going on, is we can share our fear.
Exactly.
And the gnarly side is where it splits us, but the good is where we are sharing and lightening each other's loads.
Yeah, and that splitting is just the reality. People were split. The person across the line is not your scapegoat. Like, so, and I'm trying to remind myself of that. I get irritated, I get frustrated. I get afraid of other people's views, but then especially being able to talk to people I trust whose views aren't 100% with mine, it's really good, because fear tries to polarize us, and it's like, we need to be 100% on the same page.
Right.
Now, I've seen this meme. It's like, we may not agree, but we can still be friends.
Right.
And so there's like, if I can like have a reasonable conversation, like I've done for years prior to COVID, right? People, how many conversations have you had with somebody you didn't see eye to eye with, and you survived those conversations?
Yeah.
Maybe for the better.
Well, and I think the one little twist I put on it with this is the level of fear in those conversations is higher, but I think the benefit, I strongly believe the benefit of us being able to be with our own fear is being able to also recognize fear in other people, even if it's not our fear. But that's being with our own fear allows us to take care of other people and their fear as well.
Yeah, the attunement.
We need each other, even with all our differences.
Yeah, we need to tune in, because there is a lot that's driving what's going on right now, and fear is a huge piece of the puzzle. It's like, so if I can get slow, if I can notice me, if I can tune inside, this is normal. This isn't just COVID stuff.
Right.
If I can have empathy for myself, if I can care and honor my experience, I'm going to be better able to tune in with someone else, care and honor and have empathy for their experience.
Yep.
Because that's a positive intentionality thing too.
Right.
That's the good intention.
100%.
People are trying to have good intention. We're just flooded with a very chaotic crisis. This is a
literally
global crisis.
That's exactly what it is. And it's a long one.
It's a long one. So any closing thoughts here, Tony?
Yeah, I think I'd really just want to underline the fact that being with your fear is a scary experience, right? But it's an important thing to be able to be with our fear, to welcome it, to recognize it as a part of ourselves, because that's another important part of how we relate to reality. I like telling my clients, you don't run from a bear unless you're afraid of it. So when we can orient our fear to reality, we can run from the right things and we can run to the right things.
Yeah.
And we need each other. I think each other are the people we need to run to.
Mm-hmm.
And to hold each other's fear in spite of our differences. And I think that kind of connection, when we can bring our fear into connection with each other, we can bring down the level of fear. And even if we bring it down 5%, 10%, that's a lot.
That is a lot. And at the, at the crucial cusp is this relationship with self and this relationship with others.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the nature and the nurture stuff. That is from the womb. That is what psychology breathes, is that 100%. We see the nature, the behavior, personality, science, and we see the nurture, which is all about the relationship. And if we can slow down with fear, that's a way we can find a path towards nature and nurture, and it's hard.
It is.
It's really hard. It is. It's hard, and it's okay. It's okay to notice that it's hard, and it's hard, and it's worth it.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks, Tony. This is a complicated one. Complicated, and yet we can make it more manageable.
100%.
Okay.